Take a look at this picture. This is Jacqui Saburido, the beautiful 20-year-old who had everything to look forward to. Everything. Look at this. As an only child growing up in Caracas, Venezuela, Jacqui lived the good life, beautiful and smart.
I love hang out with friends and, to go parties, to enjoy life.
In college, she studied engineering with hopes of one day taking over her father's manufacturing business. She had dreams of getting married.
I wanted to have a lot of children, 2, 3, 4 children.
In August of 1999, Jacqui said goodbye to her parents in Venezuela to set off on a new adventure. She moved to Texas to study English. This is Jacqui today. Jacqui was literally burned alive during a horrific accident. The young man responsible for doing this to her is now in prison, and he agreed to talk to us about the fateful night that altered so many lives.
I was a senior in high school, starter on the football team, made good grades. I was known as a good kid in the community.
But one split-second decision would change Reggie Steffi's life forever.
I had gone out to a friend's house after work. It got late, and so I decided to go on to another party. I wasn't paying attention to how much I was drinking. I was just out having a good time.
The same night, Jacqui Saburido was excited about going to a birthday party.
I was thinking, oh my goodness, what I'm going to wear.
After the party, she accepted a ride home from a young woman who lived near her dormitory.
When we left the party, we were 5 people in the car, 4 girls and 1 boy.
At about 4 o'clock in the morning, I got in my SUV and I headed home.
On a 4-lane road just outside of Austin, Reggie's SUV crossed the center line and hit the car Jacqui was riding in head-on.
The last thing I remember was headlights and impact.
2 girls in Jacqui's car were killed instantly. Jacqui was trapped. Her legs were pinned under the dashboard. She was helpless as flames engulfed her face and body.
When Jacqui was engulfed by the flames, she was screaming and moaning and wailing an almost inhuman sound I've never heard another person make. She continued to scream as the flames kept growing. I remember thinking at one point as well, God, just please take her and let her stop suffering.
I told, help, help, help in English.
She was on fire for close to a minute before they could free her from the car. Her skin, her hair, her face melted away.
When I pulled Jacqui out of the vehicle, parts of her were still stuck to the seat, and I was surprised to find when I walked up to the passenger side that she was moving and still moaning.
I thought I were dying. I remember the sound of the helicopter.
The helicopter took her to a hospital with 3rd-degree burns covering 60% of her body. A test showed Reggie's blood alcohol was over the legal limit.
They handcuffed me and said, "You are under arrest for intoxication manslaughter."
I went from a football field on Friday to a prison cell on Sunday through the choices I made on one Saturday.
The first time I was made aware of the severity of Jacqueline's burns. I didn't eat, I didn't sleep, I tossed and turned.
On his 20th birthday, Reggie Steffi was fined $20,000 and sentenced to 7 years in prison for 2 counts of intoxication manslaughter. He's serving time at the Luther unit of the Texas Department of Corrections. Doctors worked around the clock to save Jacqui's life. Dr. Dwayne Roberts was on call that night.
When I saw Jacqui, she was charred beyond recognition. The eyes were totally exposed. The eyelids were essentially missing. I did not expect her to survive.
Her nose and her lips and her ears literally fell off in my hands.
Jacqui was unconscious for 10 months. Once fiercely independent, her life now revolves around hospitals, doctors, and an endless search to rebuild her badly burned face and body. She has endured 50 surgeries, and there are many more to come. Last February, a corneal transplant enabled her to see her face for the first time.
When I really saw it the first time, I felt like a monster, like an alien.
Jacqui is getting stronger, but faces years of treatment and uncertainty, all because of one drunk driver.
I miss my body. I miss my independence. I miss my opportunities. in my future, because it won't be the same. Sometimes my soul wants to get out. I want to be in another body, that I can do whatever I want to do. But I don't know how.
Please welcome a woman who defines survival. Please welcome Jacqui Saburido. In the moment where the woman whose face has been destroyed. Jacqui says in her dreams that you are whole and beautiful.
Wow. Yes, when I had some dreams, I remember that I had an accident, no? Mm-hmm. But I still beautiful like before. Mm-hmm. So it's something strange, something that happened to me, but mm-hmm. I still did the same person physically mm-hmm. outside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you say that it feels like your soul is trapped inside this burned, scarred body.
Yeah, I feel like when you are like inside a car and you want to get out mm-hmm. and you cannot, because if you go out, you will be free. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that. I feel like I am inside of this body, mm-hmm. but I'm the same person than before. Same person.
How do you feel about, now we just watched the tape of the man who is now in jail. He'll be in jail for 6-7 years. Okay. And he will be out and he will go on with his life. While you have already had 50 surgeries and will have countless more surgeries. How do you feel about him? Do you harbor anger towards him? Do you harbor anger toward the fact that, he made a stupid mistake driving intoxicated?
I feel, I can say like 3 or 4 times a year when I'm very, very depressed, that I say, oh, come on, why he did this? But really, really not. And I think he's not a criminal. He's a responsible person that took a bad decision in a bad time. It's something that he didn't want to do it. Because if he will say, yeah, I want to go out and kill people, I will say I go to jail and, mm-hmm. everything. But in my opinion, he's not a criminal. But he should do something, because he needs to understand what happened or what he did, because it's not my life, it's not my father, my mother, my family, no, it's everybody around me, my friends,
I know that you say every day of your life is a fight.
Yes,
all of us wake up, we complain about everything going on in our life, but for you, every day just to get up and get dressed is a fight.
Yeah, it is a fight, because it's so difficult sometimes, understand why this happened to me or why happened to anybody, Mm-hmm. And
are you glad that you lived?
Yes, I'm glad.
You're glad that you lived?
Yeah, I'm glad. Because I want to live a lot of things that I didn't. Mm-hmm. I haven't enough time to do it, Mm-hmm. So I want to live it. I don't want to lose it.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to lose it?
No.
Well, Jacqui says she allows herself to cry for only about 5 minutes a day. Mm-hmm. Right. So you let yourself feel sorry for yourself 5 minutes a day?
Really, it was my cousin idea. She mm-hmm. said, you only will have 5 minutes a day to cry. Mm-hmm. And then I tell, oh, yeah, I know, because, okay, that's it, 5 minutes, finish.
There are moments, and during this interview is one of them. Well, the man who drove the SUV that slammed into the car that Jacqui was riding in, as we said earlier, is in prison, and his mother, Jean Steffi, is here. She has never met Jacqui. Jean, come on up. How are you? How are you? This is Jacqui. Yes. What do you want to say to her? You just saw this story. You obviously are familiar with this story.
In the instant that your life changed, our lives changed. You've been... Thought I could do this.
You can do it. You can do it.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Oh, you can do it. You can do it. When I'm sitting there, I'm just really...
I have prayed for you and your father every minute since this happened, as my son has. All that you've gone through, we can only feel in our hearts. But I've kept track of everything that's going on with you. I've thanked God for your sight, and I pray every day for those miracles that will restore your life. But most of all, I pray that he keeps the joy in your heart because you are the most beautiful person, and I think he needs you and your strength and courage to be an example to all our precious young children that in an instant, life changes in an instant. And we have to be responsible and cautious and thoughtful of that all the time.
Well, I'm sure that was hard. That's
yes,
hard.
it's very hard,
Yeah.
but it also feels so good for you to hug me.
No, it's okay. No problem. Don't worry about it.
Thank you, Jean, and thank you, Jacqui. I think we've all learned a great deal from you today. And I know you have many more surgeries to endure, and you will be in our prayers.